Hey guys, what's up? It's Danny. Today's video is gonna be one that has been highly requested for a really long time. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the social scene at the University of Miami, everything from making friends, going out, and the party scene. I get tons of questions regarding social life, and I realized that I've never really made a video about it. And to be completely honest with you guys, even my social life builds up every year a little bit more. Every year I meet more new people, I try to go out more, I try to have more fun, and I feel that right now as a junior, I have a really good balance of like fun in college, but also like, taking academics seriously. So I feel that right now, everything is going really well. Well, actually, it's not going well because school shut down and we have this whole coronavirus situation, but hopefully everybody is staying safe. Before I start talking about the social scene, I have a whole playlist dedicated to University of Miami advice. I'm gonna put it like up here, like wherever YouTube puts recommended playlist. If you guys have any more questions or just want to see what life is like as a student, make sure to follow me on Instagram and add me on Snapchat at goalkeeperdanny. But anyways, let's get straight into the video and talk about the social scene at the University of Miami. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are the people and making friends. So there is a stereotype about the rich kid or like daddy's money. You guys have probably heard it. And yes, there are tons of people that go to that are loaded. They have a lot of money. Their first car was a Porsche. But don't let that intimidate you or start judging people without really getting to know them. Even with that stereotype going around, that doesn't mean that everybody has money, or even the people that have money are like snobs or anything. I went to a public high school in Miami. I'm like really middle class. So when I first got into I was like really scared that it was gonna be hard to like meet people because they didn't like me because I didn't have like enough money, or just like I didn't match their like financial criteria. But after like a month of freshman year, I realized that like that really doesn't matter at all. If you just meet like the right people, regardless of like the money situation, they could still be really good friends. Right now I'm a junior, and in these past 3 years, I don't think I've ever had an issue with anybody regarding like money or financial status. Like nobody's ever gone up to me and be like, Danny, you're not cool because you don't drive a Porsche. Or Danny, your dad doesn't have a yacht, you're not cool. So don't worry too much about the stereotypes, because there are a lot of good people and you can make a lot of good friends. But also don't be too nice, because there are some assholes out there. But that's just anywhere in life. You're gonna meet good people, you're gonna meet bad people. Now I am briefly gonna talk about how to make friends, which is pretty simple. If you're an incoming freshman, during orientation week, it is super easy to make friends. You might be watching this and you're like, wait, but like, how do I make friends? Think about this. You get hundreds of incoming college students that don't really know each other, put them together in one place for a week before classes start. That's pretty much how you make friends. And other fun stuff might also happen. But the point is that it's really easy to make friends. You kind of just like start talking to people when you first meet them, especially when you're like moving in. During move-in, everybody's like really friendly. You're just like, oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? Like, I'm from here. Oh, you're from there. That's cool. Then you do like certain stuff together. Like you go eat together. You might go on the Target run together. And then like little by little, like you have friends. Also, joining a club, intramurals, club sports is a really easy way to meet people that have similar interests. Now, you might not be an incoming fall freshman. You might be a spring admit or a transfer student. And you might be freaking out because you're like, okay, like how do I make friends because I'm not starting at the same time as everybody else. Same process, join a club, talk to people in your class, and once you like make one friend, like you're gonna meet more people. Making friends in college is really easy. Just be open, outgoing, talk to people, and you'll make friends. Now the next thing I'm gonna talk about is like going out, partying, all the fun stuff. You finally know how to make friends, you have a lot of friends, and you just wanna have fun. I'm gonna start with like the normal going out, and I'll like build it up all the way to like the party scene, just because I feel that's how my college experience has been. So going out in Miami, there are like tons and tons and tons of places to go out. Like you will never be bored here. You'll become broke before you get bored. I think like 2 years ago, I made a video of like places to go as a Miami student. I'm gonna like leave it up here. But yeah, there's like a lot to do. You have like beaches, restaurants, malls. For the beaches, you have South Beach or Key Biscayne. On Sundays, you can have brunch in the Grove. You can go to Wynwood and take like a picture in front of the art and put it on Instagram. I'm not really gonna go too deep into it because if not, this will end up being like a 2-hour video. Just know that in Miami, there are a lot of things to do, a lot of places to go out and have fun. Now let's get into what everybody is dying to find out, and that is the party scene. So the way that I would divide the party scene is into nightclubs, bars, and frat parties. Obviously for nightclubs and bars, they are gonna ask for ID, so just be ready. There is a pretty good option when it comes to nightclubs and nightlife. You have Story, Live, Rockwell, Mokai, Wah, 11, Space. there are just a good amount of options. Clubbing tends to be the more expensive one out of the 3 categories for partying. Especially as a guy, you have to pay cover, then you buy like really expensive drinks, and it all adds up. Depending on the club, you're gonna be spending more money, so obviously your higher tier clubs like Live and Story are gonna be more expensive than Space. Sometimes they have concerts or special events that might increase or decrease the price. If you're balling and you wanna have fun, you can get a table, but it will usually cost you in the higher hundreds and sometimes even thousands. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really go clubbing too much because it could be expensive and it really adds up. Also in Miami, there's this whole thing about clubbing that's like, oh, I know somebody, or my friend is a promoter, but I don't know anybody and my friend is not a promoter. I will say though that those times that I did go clubbing, it was really fun. Even though I did waste a lot of money, I think it was worth it. Next up, let's talk about the bars. In Miami, there are tons and tons of bars. You have Brickell, Wynwood, South Beach. All these places have their own special bars. So yes, there are tons of options for good drinks during happy hour, but I'm just gonna be talking about the places that I like going to. So Thursday nights are Grove nights. The Grove, or Coconut Grove if you want to be really formal, is like this neighborhood that's like really close to campus, and I actually live like a minute away from all the hot spots. Now to be honest, the Grove used to be more popular and even bigger back then because there was this really nice mall called Coco Walk, but even now it's still really fun. You have Barracuda, Sandbar, it's just a really good vibe. It does get really rowdy sometimes, but that's just the Grove on a college night. Now for Friday, I like to hit up the Wharf or Monty's. The Wharf is kind of like in the downtown area, and what's really cool about it is that you're kind of like right in front of the Miami River. They have tables and chairs right in front of the river. You see the whole skyline. It's just really chill. Also during happy hour, they sell their own beer for $1, so if you're trying to save money, this might be the move. Next up is Monty's in the Grove, which is like 2 minutes from Sandbar, and it has been a really good hotspot for UM students. The cool thing about Monty's is that it's like right in front of the water. Just like a lot of places in Miami, it's like mainly open air, but obviously it's like covered just in case it rains. And it's right next to a dock, so you see like all the boats and yachts like right next to the bar. They have pretty good happy hour deals, and their most popular drink, which is a PK3, is only $6. Now on campus, there is also another bar called The Rat. I don't go there as much as I should because when I'm on campus, I'm really busy and I never find time to chill at The Rat. But it's still a really good vibe to have lunch with some friends. They have gliders. I know that on Thursday afternoons, it gets pretty packed. But guys, that is it for the bars. Just keep in mind that there are a lot of bars and options in Miami, so don't think you're limited to like 3 or 4 options. We have nightclubs, bars. Now let's move on to frat parties. I get a lot of questions regarding Greek life, and people ask me like, how big are the frats? How big are the sororities? How big is Greek life at UM? And in my opinion, it's definitely like a thing. Like it's kind of big, but it's not like the end of the world if you're not in a frat or a sorority. Yes, some frats throw really good tailgates, really good parties. They're really involved on campus. But it's not the end of the world if you're not involved in Greek life. I never rushed, I'm not in a frat, and I am still having a really good time in college. Also, if you're an incoming freshman, you can't rush until the spring, so that's just something to keep in mind. So with frat parties, you have your tailgates, you have your pool parties, your darties, or just like your regular frat parties. And then you have like your private or closed events. So with tailgates, I'm gonna be honest, I've only gone to like 2 or 3 tailgates, I forgot, but I haven't been to like that many tailgates compared to other people. Freshman year, if you're a guy, I think it's really hard to get into a tailgate unless you like directly know somebody from that frat. Like my freshman year, I didn't even try going into a tailgate. I would just go to the stadium like really early. Eventually, when you're a sophomore and junior, you might have friends that are part of frats, so they could kind of just like let you in. Now, if you're a girl, you're gonna get in without an issue. Now, the frat tailgates mainly happen in like the little frat row that we have. I know some tailgates have also been off campus, and sometimes there's tailgates at the stadiums, but I know that for frats, they've been more like restrictive on that. Overall, it's really fun. There's a lot of people. It gets crazy. It's just a good time. Besides tailgates, frats also have like regular parties or pool parties or darties, whatever, just regular frat parties. Even though it is Miami and frats take advantage of that to do a lot of pool parties, they also have parties at night. To be honest, I've never gone to a frat party at night. I've only gone to frat parties during the day, and a lot of people ask me, how do you find out about the frat parties? I'm gonna be completely honest, since I'm not in a frat, I find out about these parties really last minute. My friends will text me really last minute with all the details, and sometimes I'm like really bored doing nothing, laying down in my bed on Snapchat, and I see that like my friend's story is wild, and I'm like, oh, is it cool if I slide? And if my friend is like, yeah, he sends me the address and I'm there. Keep in mind though that this is a perspective from a guy who's not in a frat. I'm pretty sure that if you rush and you join a frat, obviously you're gonna be like part of the party 24/7. And if you're a girl, regardless if you're in a sorority or not, it's also really easy to find out about frat parties. Overall though, depending on the day, the party, what frat is hosting it, it could be a really fun time. And sometimes, like, I don't know, I just don't think they are all that. So it really depends on the party, I guess. Now the next thing is something I know very little about, and it's the closed events that frats throw. So what I've made out of it from friends that are in frats is that it's either like a really small party, kind of like a Getty or a mixer, where like in order to get in you have to be invited, like even if you're a girl. So usually girls can get into like tailgates and parties, but for these closed events, you have to be like formally invited. Also, I know that there's like frat formal and sorority formal. I don't know if those count as closed events, but I know that those exist. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know about closed events. All right, that's pretty much everything I have to say about the social scene at UM. Hopefully you guys found this video useful in one way or another. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with my weekly uploads. That's pretty much it for me, but always remember to stay hydrated. I ran out of water.